Hello out there. It's week 5 of the NFL season, which means it's week 5 of the MCC season, which means it's the week 5 edition of the MCC News. I am your host, 5-time MCC champion Alan Morrow. So before we get to the news today, we have one big special announcement. Lee kind of broke the news last night. We have set the next MCC outing get together. It's set for Sunday, October 27th at 1 p.m. Myself will be hosting. I will have one TV on the Lions game, which will be the main viewing room, and then probably another TV in the other room that will probably have Red Zone on, or maybe another game. I do have the NFL Sunday ticket package, so we can watch any game we want on there. I will probably be ordering some type of food, TBD, I don't know, maybe tacos, maybe wings, maybe pizza. Maybe I'll just make a giant pot of Kraft mac and cheese. We'll see. In addition to that, this is also Alan's, myself's birthday celebration. My birthday will be a few days beforehand, so bring presents, please. Thank you. That's all. It also will be BYOB. We may have a special MCC batch cocktail maybe happening. I don't know. I'll have to talk to my wife. She's the cocktail lady. And then with that, now it's time for the Week 4 rewind. Week 4, we're just past a quarter-ish into the season. Will got his first win of the season and also got high points on the back of Lions' number 1 wide receiver, Jared Goff, and the QB1 for the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He got that double stack of receiving and passing touchdowns on that great Monday Night Football win for the Lions. Congratulations to Will. Now, with that, some exciting news in the high points this year. 4 weeks, 4 different winners. The past few years, we've had a lot of repeat winners of weekly high points, which makes it a little less fun. A couple of years ago, I think James and Gabe combined for 9 or 10 weekly high point wins on the season. So far, so good. With also the previous 3 weeks, Lee, Alan, Jeremy won weekly high points. The next week, they lost. So let's see if Will can buck that trend a little bit. Unlikely, because Will can't even buck his own trend of losing to Lee. And with that, Lee and Jeremy also scored low points for the weeks following they won high points. I was the only one so far that I lost, but at least I scored low points. Low points this past week in week 4 here, Jeremy. Go figure. 1 high points last week, low points this week. It happens. And so far, actually, this is the lowest amount anyone scored this season, 67.78. Beat Ben's horrible 67.88 last week. And Ben had a really bad lineup with Ramondre Stevenson, Shaheed, and Jamison Williams that, like I said, combined for, I think, 1 point combined. So congratulations, Jeremy. So far, you're the worst out of 4 weeks. The closest matchup, Jim beat me. I almost made a Monday night miracle comeback. With Jahmyr Gibbs fell 3.26 points short. And that is, so far this season, the closest matchup we've had. The previous closest was in week 1, Doug beating Adam with 6.38 points. Biggest blowout, Schrader beating Jeremy. Schrader made a joke even before kind of the weekend games because Jeremy was going to have a good Thursday night with Dak Prescott, but he was going to struggle to probably score 70 points overall on the week, which exactly happened. Jeremy couldn't even beat 70. But Schrader beat Jeremy by 32.38. So congratulations there. Then only if I had a different schedule this week was Adam. He would have beaten 8 other teams with a score of 119.44. This is the second time in 4 weeks he has been the winner of only if I had a different schedule. So he's 0-4, a lot of bad breaks, a lot of close losses. Hopefully better luck for him, moving forward with that. So that will bring us to our next matchup of the week. Lee, defending champion, 3-1 versus Jim, 4-0, the only undefeated team left in our league. It's been big. Right now, the current sleeper projections show Lee will beat Jim 95.33 to 93.18. It's going to be a low scoring matchup, potentially, but a very close one. Currently, Lee is winning by 8.1 points, as Lee had Rachaad White going last night in Thursday Night Football. Jim didn't have anybody. So, let's see. Someone's going to probably be on top of the league after this game. Next, now it's time for Jeremy's 5 out of 6 check-in. So Jeremy, every year he's been in the league, which is, I think this is his 12th year, so 13th year for the league. He's done a 5 out of 6 bets that multiple people take him up. He tries to predict 5 out of the 6 playoff teams after our draft. He loses every year. Every single year, he's out hundreds of dollars. Usually 5, 6, 7 people take him up on his bet, $10 a piece. At this point, he has to hit this multiple years in a row to even break even. But this is what he does. This is what he contributes to the league. We love him for it. 4 weeks into it, so far, 3 teams in, 3 teams out that he's selected. As you see, the teams that he picked: Jeremy, Gabe, James, Schrader, Adam, and Jim. Currently in the playoffs, only Jim, Gabe, and Schrader are currently in the playoffs that he selected. Jeremy, he picked Jeremy. He's 2-2 so far. He's actually 7th place currently in the league. James is 1-3 at 10th place, and Adam is 0-4 in 12th place. So he has a couple of those teams. He needs, obviously, 2 of those 3 teams make a run here and get into that top 6. So best of luck to you, Jeremy. Most likely you're not going to hit it, and it's your own damn fault. Next, just for my own sake, points against standings. I lead the league in the most points against at 512, almost 513 points. In second place is Will with 455 points. Yes, over 60 points more scored against me in 4 weeks than anybody else in this league. I'm 1-3. I'm struggling. I'm in the top half. I think I'm number 5 or 6 in points for. So, catching some bad breaks. And, obviously myself, Will is 1-3, Adam's 0-4. Doug is the only 2-2 team that's in the top 5 in points against. So everybody, Jim, who's obviously 4-0, least amount of points against, of course, 355. So teams have scored 150 plus less points against Jim than they have against me. Fantastic, wonderful, that's great. Good for you, Jim. You're really good at this. All right, now it's time for Tyra's Fab Thoughts. Weird Fab week. Last week we didn't really have anything. This week we had people picked up, but nobody spent really big money. The big money was 2 $14 bids by myself that I was able to win with Wicks from Green Bay and Tank's Bigsby from Jacksonville. I'm struggling with running backs this year. I knew I was going to overpay for Tank. Nobody else bid. I didn't think I would overpay that much. Or actually, one other person bid on Tank for $0, while nobody else bid on Wicks at all. So I spent $14 when I could have got him essentially for $1, which is surprising. And I know all other leagues and all other podcasts I listen to, he was the biggest fab spend this week by far, but not in this league. And with that, James won Rondale Robinson for $11. Jim had an $8 bid on him. That was the closest bid of the week between anybody. Jim lost on that, but he did win an $8 bid on Josh Downs, which I think he actually had Josh Downs like a week or 2 prior as well. Tyra picked up Lazard for $0, but perhaps maybe the sneakiest pickup is right after the waivers ran, I was able to go in there and pick up Trace Sermon for free, which just a couple hours ago, Jonathan Taylor got announced that he's going to be out, so Trace Sermon will get the start. Like I said, I'm hard pressed on running backs. Gibbs and J.K. Dobbins, my 2 startable running backs, are both on bye. So hopefully Trace Sermon can save me for this week. But with that would be the end of the MCC News. Lions, bye week. Rest up, boys. See you next week.